boil 2 cups of water here with my recent addition here. This is my knockoff of the yeah, all the way around. Very good. Okay, let's put the lid on there. Once this baby gets going, it's pretty hot. Got a bit of a storm rolling in tonight outside, so it's chilly and wet outside tonight. So instead of going outside, I'm just staying around the house. Boy, that's a lot of distance there. This is usually my pot stand for my Heineken pot, so I may have too much distance for my grease pot there. I don't know if you can see, I'll point them out here, but there's little wire standoffs right here and all the way around. I usually set my Heineken pot down inside there, but that distance is pretty far, so may or may not work on a grease pot with this pot stand. I gotta see if I can find my other pot stand. I think this is the pot stand I usually use, which would not lower it very much, really, but the same height. So this may be the one I have to stick with, as long as I have right now. Another one I have, but I bet it's much taller, so that wouldn't work either. May have to make a pot stand just for this stove. I don't have my gloves with me right now. I just have this. I also am a little leery about that little knot there. Looks like it's going to be boiling over for sure. But I cannot. Yeah, we don't have a rolling boil. All this time we didn't get a rolling boil. I guess because the flame's not actually touching it. So, let me take this off of here. I'm going to go ahead and blow that out. Those blow out so beautiful. Now I'm going to not grab this because this could be potentially hot. Now the problem with making a new one of these, like this, is the first time you burn these things, first time you use it, it's horrible. They get really orange and burn off all that excess stuff. So the first time you want to be in a ventilated area, which I am not in the ventilated area. So I'll probably burn this outside the first time and bring it back in and burn it again. So I'll be right back. Alright, so we took this thing outside and burned off all that oxidation. Going to go ahead and throw another 2 cups of water in here. It's about this entire bottle here, I think. Maybe a little over. These are not the most accurate measuring. I filled this stove up all the way with alcohol just now. It holds a good 2 ounces of alcohol. And I've never used it with that much just to see how long it burns. I'd like to see how long it actually burns for. Go ahead and put our lid on here as well with our strainer. Get that going. These stoves, when they first light up, or my stove when it first lights up, because this burns so hot, it just pressurizes all that fuel. There's such a small wall in between there. And I do have this filled with carbon felt in 2 locations. So there's the center, which I just cram the carbon felt in from the top in the hole where the penny sits on top of. It's a pretty big hole. I'd say it's almost as big as the tip of my lighter here, the hole is, in the top of it. But then all the outside has 1 piece of carbon felt that wraps around the whole outside in between the wall. And this is a walled stove. So there's 1 piece, the thickness of 1 sheet of carbon felt. and grab this sheet. Comes up. So the wall is about that thick between the inner and outer wall of this thing. And I think that's one of the reasons it burns so long is because it is. I'll stir that up. I may have to take one of these. May have to take one of those squares off there and knock it down one more layer. I don't want to make it too short and then have to, well, make a new one because you can't raise it. But I could always cut another square off there, and it looks like I could potentially cut another square off there and be at almost the perfect height. I didn't even test to see if that 6 would fit in the, or is it 7? I can't tell from here. Would fit in the pot. And it really is important that it fits in the pot. And that wouldn't fit in the pot. I think it would just be a little bit too tall, especially with this strainer down inside the pot at this way. There's no way it could fit, and if you turn the strainer over, it doesn't go down inside. So if you want to carry it inside here, you'd have to be below, well, the strainer's just down to about there, you have to be down to there, which would mean that I'd have to come down 1, possibly 2. And I think 2 would be too low, maybe. Maybe not. I don't know what the best spot is. If the best spot is into the flames a little bit, or just above the flames. I guess what we'll do here is we'll do a pot. We'll knock it down 1 square. We'll do another pot. And then if we need to, if it doesn't fit in the pot, we'll knock it down 1 more square, and we'll do another pot of water. And in the process of doing the 3 of them, we'll know, and I showed you the roll of the stuff I have, we can always make another one to, make it work for us. So I'm not sure when the camera shut off, because I was in front of the camera, so I don't have to watch and see. But it's still not boiling, and the light boil, I wouldn't call it a boil though, as far as a rolling boil, but well, yeah, it is kind of a rolling boil now. Take the lid off though and it goes away. I like for my rolling boil to hang in there when you take the lid off and you know you got a good boil. So yeah, we're going to take 2 notches off, or 1 notch off and try again, and so on and so forth. We'll be back. Bye for now. Knocked it down 2 levels because 1 wasn't enough. I was playing around with it. 1 wouldn't even fit in the pot, so 2 levels brought it down, and that flame is hitting that pot perfectly. So I need to unload my camera and put some cold water in there and do a time test. But I think that's my perfect height right there. So we'll give it a shot, and we'll get a count on it. Be back in a bit. Bye. Just wanted to get a real quick shot and see how that looked with the skillet on top of it. That's the 1 egg wonder right there. And you can see that does a heck of a job of, I just put some water in there. You never want to cook a pot dry. So that does a pretty good job though. Way too hot for cooking something that just needs a little taste. But anyways,